Colorado Buffaloes were able to come out with a win in double overtime against the Colorado State Rams. And it looked like for a moment that the Colorado State Rams was going to pull that out and end their 5-year drought against their in-state rivals. But let's get the obvious out the way, okay? I'm going to go to a play in the first quarter last night. This particular play right here, where there was no way he was going to catch that ball, and that was a dirty-ass hit that Travis Hunter endured last night. That was a dirty-ass hit. Now, some people could sit up here and make an argument, talk about, oh, that was clean and all that. No, that was a defenseless receiver that he did that to. See, that's the type of filth they're trying to eliminate in football. But you guessed it. If you didn't guess that Jason Whitlock had a problem with head coach Deion Sanders and how he tried to play through that injury. What's up, y'all? Big Wash, salute, bro. Then you were living under a rock because, as I stated on many videos when I'm getting at Mr. Whitlock, and I'm going to refrain from a lot of the name calling and all that because I want to get to the point here because I can't promise I'm going to do it the whole entire video, but I'm going to try to refrain from a lot of the name calling, all the gelatinous, gargantuan giants. Y'all know how I feel about this guy, right? This guy's a disgusting individual. I told you in many videos that there's no load that he won't do to try to drive home a narrative, and he's continuing to prove me right. Now, that was a dirty play last night. Now, he tried to play through it, and Travis Hunter ended up going to the hospital to be observed. Now, it is unknown or unclear how long he's going to be out. But the fact of the matter was, this man who had nothing but projections, lies, and other falsehoods out there at his disposal to try to demonize and disrespect and diminish the name of Deion Sanders, the head coach for the Colorado Buffaloes, he had the audacity to go on Twitter or X, had the audacity to go on there and try to use these kids as a proxy to try to drive home some false narrative. Now, he put up many tweets last night, but this was the tweet that had people outraged. Now, there were other tweets out there he put up that had people outraged, but this was the one. Make it make sense. Dude gets hit with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, returns and plays both ways throughout the second quarter, leaves for the hospital in the third quarter, but it was the hit that sent him to the hospital because, yeah, you idiot. Now, look, Whitlock. Look here, Whitlock. Look here. Is this you? This you, right? Now, being a man that, has a flair for competition, you could understand or should understand that when a person gets hit, you may not feel that effect right off rip. You might have got the wind knocked out of you, something like that. Look, the fact of the matter is, he felt like he could continue playing until something else happened to him. And then that's when he went to the hospital. Because then, when you got that adrenaline running in you, you don't feel a lot of these injuries right off rip. It's when the adrenaline wears off. That's when you start feeling a lot of these pains and injuries and things of that nature. Come on, Whitlock. You got to be smarter than that. I mean, you can't have this kind of fat boy logic on you all the damn time. At some point, some level of intelligence got to seep in. Just admit it. You are a fucking hater, okay? Just admit it. don't sit up here and talk about pressure and all that. When you putting pressure on the toilet seat and when you putting pressure on your gut, then the only times that you putting pressure on anything, you're not putting no pressure on Deion Sanders because you want to see him shine. You're the only one that's willing to go against the grain and all that. No, you took the contrarian route because that's your MO. When everybody goes this way, I'm going to go that way because I don't want nobody trying to silence me. That's the thing that really gets you off. And you were chopping at the bit to see Colorado lose that game last night so that way you could bring your behind on the podcast or on Twitter and dole out the I told you so. That when everybody went against me, that I told you so. That I told you that this wasn't going to work. This is what you do. You try to hedge your bets. You always trying to take both sides of the argument. That's why I don't understand a Bama like you. You will sit up there all day and all night and try to take both sides of the argument. And you always try to hedge your bets to where if Colorado wins, oh, well, it wasn't an impressive win, and the other team wasn't as good, and the coaching on the other team sucks, and this, that, and the third. But as soon as Colorado loses that game, they overrated. Uh, People, there was too much hype around them. Watch what I tell you. As soon as Colorado loses a game, this dude is going to be on his high horse. Giddy up. And he's going to throw it in everybody's face. All us YouTubers out there that was getting on him with every game Colorado wins, as soon as they lose a game, watch him. He going to be all on that shit, talking about, oh, Colorado's overrated. I know Deion Sanders ain't had it in him. I knew this was going to ultimately fail. You know, they had to go against a real team. All these excuses from that bubber mouth. What's up? Ticket, my man Ticket in the building. Cause see, he cooking him 3 the hard way. Well, you know, I'm trying to go double that. I'm trying to go double that. Cause this man is disgusting. He tried to use that situation as a prop to try to drive home some false narrative about I told you that this dude will stoop to any level. And when it comes to the bottom of the barrel, well, he cut the bottom of that barrel out because he's going lower. There's no lower that this dude won't stoop to try to drive home a point. What can I tell you? Oh, I bet he's very happy now because their next 2 games are against ranked teams. The next game they got to go to Oregon. The following game they got they're home against USC. That's those 2 games right there is when the rubber meets the road for Colorado. If Colorado wins those 2 games, what you gonna say? What you gonna say, Jason Whitlock? What you gonna say? Do you believe? That's the question. Do you believe? Huh? This you right here. You praying on his downfall? Because that's what you're doing. You praying on this man's downfall. You had your whole brisket platter ready to sit behind that desk, and you was getting ready to take it all in while talking shit in our faces if Colorado State had won that game last night. I know you was. You can't tell me you wasn't. You can't tell me you wasn't. But that's okay though. That's okay because Colorado got that win last night. Now you trying to hold on for dear life. You trying to hold on for dear life. What the fuck you gonna say if they beat Oregon? Because let you tell it, oh, that's a real team. That's a real team. And they're going to have a problem when they face a real team. Well, guess what? If Oregon proves you wrong, what you going to say? Huh? If Oregon proves you wrong by going out there and losing that game to Colorado, what you going to say? You don't know when to stop. Just admit you're a hater, all right? Just admit that. Admit to everybody that you're a hater and that you don't want to see this man succeed. You don't like all the pomp and circumstance that's around him. You don't like the fact that you got other brothers that's supporting him, you can't possibly say that you're supporting him. Did you take your ass out there to Colorado? Did you meet Deion Sanders? Right? Did you meet the faculty that's at Colorado? Right? Because you was the main ones, when he first took that job, that it wasn't going to work, that he was going to ultimately fail. Well, why would he even take a job like that? This is what you said. All the stuff you said. And the more this man keeps winning, the more you're going to look like a damn clown. And that's all you look like right now is a goddamn clown. You're supposed to have respect for your fellow brother, but you show nothing but disrespect for your fellow brother. But yet, you sitting up here talking about black folks and victimhood and black folks need to stick together and black folks don't need to. You is the consummate sellout. You are. I just don't understand for the life of me that someone who is endorsed by Pillsbury, because you are the consummate flicky butter biscuit eater of our generation. Yes, you are, Jason Whitlock. Yes, you are. You're going to hang on this notion that Deion ain't godly like and everything he's saying is fake. And that. So what are you? You talk about putting pressure on somebody to make a diamond, and yet you're not a diamond yourself. You are a cubic zirconia. I can tell a real diamond that shines bright, that is glistens in front of me, versus a cubic zirconia that is fake. And that is you, Jason Whitlock, a fucking cubic zirconia. Here, I got this diamond that costs $40,000 versus this cubic zirconia that costs $40. Which one are you? You sitting up here looking like you robbed a hair burglar, and every which way you find some way to diminish the accomplishment of Colorado. You know that they're 3-0. When last time you see Colorado at 3-0? I'll wait. Everybody that's listening to this video in the chat room right now, when's the last time you saw Colorado at 3-0? I mean, the only time I can remember Colorado being 3-0, I was 11 years old. That's the year they won the national championship. Now, it could have been 3-0 since then, possibly, but 1990 was the last year they won the national championship, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that he came into this situation, had this massive roster turnaround, and for them to start the season 3-0, none of y'all expected that. There ain't nobody out here expected, except the people who really roll with Deion, that anticipated this. All you Johnny come latelys out there talking about, oh man, nah, you stay right where you at. And that's the one thing I can respect about you, Fatlock, is the fact that you willing to stay on your square. You are not some Johnny come lately. You are not some motherfucker that is going to ride the wave, because a lot of you guys out there are fake. When Colorado was on, looked like they was going to lose that game, y'all turned on Deion Sanders. Y'all turned on Colorado. You didn't believe. But then again, that's what you do in your own life. When things get tough, when situations get tight, you would tuck your tail and run instead of staying there and going through the grind and staying there and endure tough times. No, because a lot of you motherfuckers out there are fair weather fans. The only thing I respect about this, but Mr. Whitlock, because I told you that I was going to refrain from all the name calling and all that, right? The only thing I respect about the fact about Mr. Whitlock, he, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how buffoonish, no matter how dumb his takes are, he is willing to keep the same energy across the board. And that's the only kind of positivity I'm going to give to your fat ass. A lot of you guys out there are fake, fickle. You guys ride the wave until the train comes to the stop, then you hop off that. Y'all guys are a bunch of fucking prostitutes, man. You ride that dick until you get tired of riding that dick, then you get off of that, then you want to find another dick to ride. That's what prostitutes do. Stay the fuck away from me if you one of them. If you one of them male prostitutes like to shake his bussy all over the yard, stay away from me. Stay off my goddamn channel. I want people who 10 toes down all the goddamn time. So I'm gonna ask y'all again. Do you believe? Do you believe? Whitlock, do you believe or don't you believe? Right? Because at this point, all this stuff you saying about Deion Sanders and all this stuff you saying about Colorado is not making sense. The math ain't adding up. Last time I checked, 2 + 2 = 4, not 22. What are you talking about, Whitlock? What are you talking about? So if Oregon loses to Colorado next weekend, right, is Oregon overrated? Was Oregon overrated? Was Oregon poorly coached? Huh? And somehow, by the grace of God, Colorado pulls this game out. What you gonna say about Oregon? Or are you gonna give Deion his flowers where he can still smell them? Because if you're supposed to be so godly-like, if you're supposed to be a man of God, and no, Jason Whitlock, you should not be running around here acting like you holier than thou. All right? Because that's the one thing I can't stand. But these so-called Christians, they sit up here acting like they're all holier than thou, and yet they got holes in their underwear. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Do not throw stones if you live in a glass house. Now, give Deion his flowers and give that man his respect because he deserves it. He works. While you're doing this, right? Hold up. While you're doing that, now I don't know what that could be. I don't know if you had stage 3 nigga-itis from a massive fried chicken eating binge or a brisket blowout. I don't know. But what I do know is this man works. And he's reaping the benefits of that work. And people are willing to believe in him. You know why? Because unlike you, Whitlock, he believes in himself. And what you gonna tell a person that believes in themselves? What you gonna say to somebody that no matter what you tell them, they're not gonna lose faith? That faith of a mustard seed, huh? Didn't you learn about that since you're supposed to be this Christian, right? Didn't you learn about the faith of a mustard seed? And no matter what you say about Deion, that's not what Deion thinks of Deion. So you really think you're doing something by going on this proverbial crusade against a man who did nothing to you, who said nothing to you, who's not even thinking about you? Hey, Big Wash, I saw your video request too about Jason Whitlock getting kicked out of Outkick. Don't worry, I'm gonna do that. I got you, bro. I'm gonna do that for you. Matter of fact, I might do that for you tomorrow. I might do a special video about that tomorrow. On my birthday. I wouldn't even go come on tomorrow. I wouldn't even go come on tomorrow on my birthday. I was gonna chill the fuck out and relax. But you know what? I dedicate my 44th birthday to you, Whitlock. That's right. When I turn 44 tomorrow, I'm gonna dedicate a special video just for your just to you, Mr. Whitlock. I had to catch myself. I told you I wasn't gonna stay off the fat jokes. But don't worry, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. That's right. Anyway, the question is this before I end this video, right? The question is this: what's the end game? You say you put pressure on somebody and all that. Why are you putting pressure on these toilets that these random toilets in these different hotels out here? Right? What is your end game? Look, you got one more time to tell me that, all right? Now I told you I'm going at this fucker. All right? Stop telling me what to do. You ain't my goddamn mama. What's your end game, Whitlock? What's your end game? Huh? Why are you going at Dion? What is the end game? Huh? You want the credit? You want the credit? You want the attention? You want the notoriety? Well, guess what? I'm about to make your monkey ass famous. You keep it up. That's right. You want the notoriety? You want the attention? You want the spotlight? Huh? You want what other people can't give you or won't give you? Don't worry, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you in the worst way. Whitlock. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. This thing is disgusting. I'm not going to stop. I am not going to stop. You can hit me now, but I can't stop now. And I won't stop now. You can hit me now, but I can't stop now. That's right. I ain't going to stop. Until this man stop his shoe shuffling and corn shucking, I ain't gonna stop neither. And because this man keeps on keeping on with his hatred of Deion Sanders. And it's disgusting. It's unacceptable. It's conduct unbecoming a journalist. You're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share these videos on your social media platform. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hurt!